So, when you first did come in 2014, you're working at the grocery store, you had a dream, and, you leave, you're not making any money, like you said. What did your parents think of all of that? Because, like for all of us, it's a conversation I have with your
Yeah.
parents. For me, hey, mom, I'm going to drop out of community college and move, but at that point, I
Yeah.
had a lot of money saved up.
Yeah.
I had a channel that was successful,
Yeah.
like it was a little easier, but still, it's a hard conversation.
Yeah.
You're moving across the world and you're very close with your family.
Yeah.
Like that's a big deal. So what is your family? I mean, you were just saying that they were also like not the biggest fan of you gaming back in the day.
Yeah.
When you wanted to quit soccer. So yeah, what was that like?
I mean, it was very. I'm just such a, especially back then. I just knew what I wanted. I was very like just straightforward and honest. I just remember walking out of the kitchen saying, "Yo, this like the gaming stuff that I do." They're like, "Yeah." So I'm gonna move to the U.S. for 3 months and try it out. Basically, like
okay.
that's literally just what I said.
You said 3 months.
Yeah, because that's like if you come to the U.S. without a visa, you can stay here for 90 days.
Okay.
So that's what I did. I was like, okay, that's the max time I had. Whatever happens after that, whatever. But I'm just gonna go and have a great time. Like whatever happens, I have to go and like just have a good time in the U.S. for 3 months. Like I didn't expect anything to come from it, or even moving there. It was just me taking a leap of faith and like, you know what? Why not? You know what I mean? Like you're only like if I didn't go, I would have. I mean, I have nothing to lose, right?
Yeah.
I have nothing to lose. I just had to try it, and then
Crazy.
those 3 months obviously changed everything. Because then, I mean, the New York house and.
I have a picture on my phone. Always see it of you sitting in Tommy's room on a like makeshift setup. I said, add him on Snapchat. Teeqo.
Yeah. No.
It's just like there's just like these memories that pop in my
Yeah,
head. But
there's
like,
certain pictures from
you were
back
fresh
then.
out of Sweden, bro. That's crazy. Literally, like
I was a culture shock for sure.
yeah. So I remember very vividly that you always made fun of the fact that for anyone that doesn't know, we had a 7-Eleven on our street. And when I say on our street, Teeqo, what was it like a?
I go by meters. It's like 50, literally 50 to maybe 100 meters up the street. 100 meters, which is a sprint.
3-minute walk.
Yeah, if even
Max.
if even 2-minute walk.
So one of the first culture shocks that Teeqo got. You want to tell them what the culture shock?
Yeah, so we were gonna go and get some snacks. As you guys know, if you watch those, we would always go to 7-Eleven. And me and Apis were going to get some Tic Tacs or something. You would always get the Tic Tacs.
I got some in my car right now. I'll show
and
you.
I started walking, and Apis was like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "We're going to 7-Eleven." It's like, "Teeqo, this is America. We drive here." I'm like, "What? It's literally just up the street. Like, what do you mean, bro? Let's walk." It's like, "No, Teeqo, hop in the car." I couldn't believe we drove there. I couldn't believe it, bro.
It's literally a 10-second drive.
My mom would have been like, "What? You're not taking
The problem is I'm just lazy. That's the reality. But it is, we do drive.
It was so funny. Like, Teeqo, this is America. We drive.
That's so funny. Guys, I swear to God, I'm not exaggerating. It's a 15-second drive max.
The FaZe mobile, though.
FaZe mobile, yeah. FaZe mobile is legendary, man. We just hop in this big mom van with a huge FaZe logo and a G Fuel thing on the back.
Oh.
It's so crazy. So that was maybe one of your first moments where I probably shocked you about Americans. But
and just food in general. And
I was
drinks
gonna
and
ask.
stuff. Everything's just big. Like a small drink here is like a large back home.
Really?
Yeah.
Like
everything here is just extra and a lot, and like, I mean, just America. Like it's just very extreme.
So funny. Do you remember any other like rough adjustments? I guess moving in, your English was pretty solid.
If anyone speaks a second language or like learn to speak a second language, especially when you're older and you were around people that spoke that language, like you feel dumb. Because in your brain, or like in here, you know exactly what you're thinking.
Yeah.
You know what you want to say, but you can't communicate it.
Yeah.
And say whatever you want, but like if you have broken English and you can't really communicate, I don't mean you sound dumb, but I felt dumb because it's like, bro, I can't say what you know what I mean? I can't say what I want to say. I can't communicate. I can't express myself. I just very short, and you become very like in your head. And I was already kind of like a quiet guy.
Yeah.
So like not being able to communicate was definitely a little rough because again, you feel a little dumb, and it's hard to be in videos sometimes because it feels like you don't really understand everything. You know what I mean? But I mean, you guys were obviously never any issues, and you even like helped. Like to be honest, bro, like even our like early conversation or whatever helped me a lot because it becomes a lot easier to learn a language when you feel comfortable speaking it because people in front of you are not being You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not saying people everywhere, but you guys were specifically you, but like, I mean, Tommy, everyone else, but super cool about it, very understanding and like letting me take my time or helping. You know what I mean? Like very, so that's
crazy. I don't
definitely
remember
helped a lot.
Like
you know?
I can imagine for you, you remember everything. I don't remember any of that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even remember it being an issue. I never even remember thinking about it.
Yeah.
But I visited Palestine for the first time when I was 21. When I went when I was a kid, but my family, we were good, but we were never, we have 6 people in my family. So for us to travel overseas, it's going to cost stupid money. Yeah. So we never went. A lot of people, they go, a lot of people that I know that are also Palestinian or they're from a place in the Middle East, they usually go every summer. So they really learn Arabic and practice it. The first time I went as an adult was when I was 21. And I know exactly what you're talking about because I'm going, there's like a little cousin I have that's like 7 years old. And I'm trying to talk to the kid, and like I can't get a sentence out. Yeah. And he's like, just talk. Yeah. And I'm like, dude, oh my god. And I just felt so dumb.
Because in here, you know exactly what you want to say, and it's so hard to.
That moment actually made me come back and like I need to learn Arabic.
Yeah.
And I'm happy I did, but yeah, I can kind of relate, but I can't imagine being online, living in a house with a bunch of people if you feel that way. So I mean, it's something that again.
But it also like it made me I just really wanted to get good at English.
Yeah.
Because of those reasons, obviously, I want to be comfortable and I want to learn this language, but also like for content.
Yeah.
I just knew that, like, I mean, don't get me wrong, but there's a lot of people out there with an accent and stuff that make tremendous content. Don't get me wrong, but I felt like being in the US, like, bro, I have to like be able to, because it's very hard to even be sarcastic. Since like it's like hard to actually be yourself when you can't speak the language.
It doesn't really translate.
It's such a small part of you that you can express.
Yeah.
And I just feel like, bro, I have so much more to give, but I can't give it because I don't know how to put it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, 100%.
But also, I've never made content in Swedish, which is weird. Yeah. Never even been an option because it seemed so small. Like, why am I limiting myself to Sweden?
Yeah,
the whole world speaks English. It has to be in English.
When you come out of Sweden and it's so small compared to America, you probably think that way. But there's a pretty large...
People are huge in Sweden.
Yeah, that's what
Don't
I was
get me
gonna
wrong.
say.
They're massive.
I'm saying,
it's almost like I should go back and tap into the Swedish stuff. But back then, it just felt like, why should I limit myself to only because Swedish people are the only people that speak Swedish.
Yeah, no, exactly.
So like English, we're like, well, everyone kind of speaks English. You know what I mean? So it was just, even though I sucked at it, it was a no-brainer to make it in English. But also because of back in the day, there wasn't much talking. We were just hitting clips.
Yeah.
So,
and there wasn't.
I mean, it was never even a question to not making it in English. But
yeah. So
I do. But the only other culture shock, by the way, that I can remember is, I remember just having so much anxiety because of like the healthcare stuff. I was like, if something happens to me here, I am ruined for life.
Oh man.
Like if I break something or it's not deadly, I just have to fly home because I can't do it here or my life is ruined. So I remember that like for some reason bothered me a lot. Like it was just a stress that it's like I'm fucked. I'm fucked if something happens.
Makes sense. It is crazy.
I'm
You're right.
Like,
You're not
anything.
wrong.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Any inconvenience, because I mean it is true, but also you just hear horror stories like, oh, someone got sick and now they have debt for millions or hundreds of thousands of. I'm like, yo.
It's unfortunate, but it's true.
Unfortunately,
especially for people.
So that was like a big thing where I felt a little. Not unsafe, but like it was definitely bothering me sometimes. Like when I didn't feel well, like I just couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah.
Even if I felt sick, I couldn't do nothing about it. I can't go I can't go anywhere.
Yeah. No,
I just have
to. Good feeling.
I just have to deal with it.
On the flip end, it's insane because if I've ever traveled to a different country and I had to go to the ER, I'm terrified because I know if you don't have insurance here, you're screwed.
Yep.
And I remember I went to the ER, spent like 5 hours, whatever, and I paid like $18. And I was like, huh?
Yeah.
That is not what it's like for us over there in America. It's crazy.